which of course should lead you to the conclusion that yes, this webinar is going to be recorded and I will provide that recording afterwards. So if you can't make it or stay for the whole time, no worries. You can review the replay afterwards. And I always get a lot of people who register knowing they can't attend it live because they know they can get the recording. So I make it a practice to always record these things. It would seem cruel not to, right? Oh, why wouldn't you record it? Unless you're trying to pull some sticky marketing scheme where you're trying to force people to come live. I don't know. It seems silly to me. So the format, by the way, is I scheduled these for 90 minutes, knowing there's really only about an hour's worth of content, but this leaves plenty of time for Q&A. And also, when I schedule them for just an hour, they tend to take 90 minutes. I tend to end up going over. So I've learned to just schedule them for 90 minutes. We may not need all 90 minutes, but this way, nobody feels like they're being held hostage because I'm going over the scheduled time. So we may be done shortly after 10 a.m. Pacific. It's now 9:07 Pacific on my clock, which means it's time to get this ball rolling. So, how to build and scale a massive side hustle with what you already have sounds amazing, right? For those of you who read my emails, and you read the email I wrote this week that was entitled, kind of piggybacking off of this, impossible but wonderful, right? Sounds impossible, but it also sounds wonderful. And the reality is, these things aren't necessarily impossible. It's just a matter of understanding a lot of context, right? And a lot of, like, one of my favorite sort of expressions that pops into mind is something like, it takes like 25 years to become an overnight success, right? So it's building and building and building. And oftentimes, and what I'm hoping to sort of reveal to you over the course of the next hour, a little more, is the stuff that you already have, things that you're already doing that you're just not monetizing it, but it's right there in front of you, right? The opportunity, at least, and with a little bit of focus and emphasis on the right processes, the right habits that we want to form, you can often uncover streams of revenue that have been sitting there right in front of you for a long time. In fact, it's not the subject of today's webinar, but I recently wrote an article talking about another version of this, where I know a lot of you are giving away free advice, meaning you get a prospective customer asking questions, and of course you're going to answer them and show them that you know what you're doing. That's the whole point of it, is to show them and not just make claims about what you're capable of. And so you'll answer their questions, and then they'll just keep asking you more questions, and it never really ends, and a lot of them never become clients. Well, the suggestion then is limit it to like two questions. And then after that, suggest that they join a paid community that you have, which you can easily implement using Slack. Or recently, I started teaching people about Pumble, which is a really cool app I discovered looking for alternatives to Slack. But either way, you use some kind of a communications app, importantly, one where you can organize conversations. And after the second question, and you give them a really good, detailed, high value answer, then you invite them to join. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. You can charge them $97 a month, right? And then invite them in and say, hey, look, I'm happy to continue answering your questions, but in an effort to serve you better, to get you a more timely answer, I would love for you to join this community of mine. It's $97 a month. It's month to month. You can cancel anytime. And right there with that, I'm giving you the very quick version of what to set up. You could quickly start turning what you were doing for free into a stream of revenue, which could grow quite well. In fact, I think in one of my recent emails, I linked you to a model that I did very simple, where if you just added one or two clients a month into a system like that, by the end of a year, you'd have like 5,000 in monthly recurring revenue, something like that, which is not insignificant, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here. So who's this for? Mainly we're here. I'm talking to accountants and bookkeepers who are ready to build a massive side hustle. I'm assuming that's why most of you joined with me today, because you saw that in the title and you were like, hey, how's he going to tell me how to do that? Well, that's the objective of a good headline or title, is to arouse curiosity and get people to want to find out more. So, mission accomplished, at least for, well, it looks like 13 of you. Well, maybe 12, because Mary has to be here. She's not here by choice, right? Well, actually, I don't see Mary here. She may not have made it yet. All right, either way. Um, so yeah, massive side hustle. Professionals who are willing to invest time up front. This is going to take work. I'm not gonna, there's no shortcuts, there's no magic tricks or secrets. Anytime you want to build a stream of revenue for any business, I've learned to think of it like I'm launching a whole new business, which means I have to put a lot of time and effort and energy into that stream of revenue up front. The reason I'm putting this under the heading of a side hustle is because it's the kind of thing, as you'll see, that you can do alongside what you're mainly doing, but start taking once it's set up, you'll see by the end of today that the setup process is the upfront work. Once it's set up, then in 30 seconds you'll be able to grab what you need and send it to somebody so they can sign up and you'll get paid, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so you got to be willing to invest some time up front to build a process like what I'm going to show you today. And here's the punchline. Most of you already love recommending apps. You all already work with clients and have a tech stack. And so every time you sign on a new client, you're going to get them into those particular apps. Now, some of them are apps that you're kind of paying for and inviting them in. But I'm sure that any of you sitting here in this webinar right now could think of probably two or three or five apps right now that you're constantly recommending to clients or even colleagues, and you just haven't taken the time to research whether or not that company has an affiliate program. And if you take 5 minutes, sign up and get an affiliate link and put it in a system you can trust so that in the moment when time comes to recommend that app, you grab your affiliate link, right? And that's the key because so many people join affiliate programs but never make a dime with them because you don't have a system, you don't have a process. And so the time comes to recommend it and you're like, I don't have time, I don't know where that link is. And so you just send them the main link to the website instead of your affiliate link, effectively leaving money on the table. Okay. And then the last bit here, the other group of you that you might fall into is if you're a networker and you're constantly making a lot of referrals and you're looking to get paid for those referrals. I see Mariette's here. Mariette's a great example, and Mariette has been very kind to me. Just yesterday and also a few days ago, she did a video talking about me and talking about my 97 and up program. And I'm fairly certain the link she gave out for people to check out 97 up was her affiliate link. Mariette, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring you on as a panelist because I think you would be a great example of somebody who's already kind of doing what we're talking about here. So I just invited you to become a panelist. There you are. If you want to just unmute for a minute and share a little bit about what you're doing and confirm that I'm right, that you're using an affiliate link because you have confidence in referring people to me, and a little bit about why. And I totally put Mariette in the hot seat. This was not planned. So, Mariette, I get it if you can't unmute at the moment.
No, I couldn't find my unmute. It's okay. I don't mind being in the hot seat. You know that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's easy to, first of all, share your stuff, and you know that. I made that very clear. You make it really easy to share. You've got great stuff. You also make it easy, meaning you give us an affiliate link. You provide like a lot of value on kind of the information pages. So I could just send someone to a page and then they can read it for themselves. I think that's the key. Just to kind of highlight if you want to do something like this, is just make it easy for yourself and make it easy for others. And if you do that, then yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Why wouldn't I share the value? And then why wouldn't I share my affiliate link alongside it? So, and like you said, to be realistic, it takes time to kind of build all this out to streamline the systems for yourself and for others. But once you've done, it's done.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to show everybody later how I'm going to show you how using my Notion system, how quickly you can build a system that you can trust, meaning when the time comes, you don't have to go hunting around. That's the problem, is we end up on that scavenger hunt, and then it's not worth making somebody else wait for the link they need, right? So thank you, Mariette. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep you here as a panelist. I'll probably call on you again, just to help with feedback and things. And earlier, by the way, I just noticed your chat message. I was looking for Mary, who normally would be here with me, but she may be busy this morning. Mary is my sort of right hand slash assistant. Anyway, so today's agenda, we're going to give you an overview of a seamless and scalable affiliate revenue model. Now, to be clear, I'm not talking about, although I highly recommend this, I'm not talking about teaching you to set up your own affiliate programs where others would become affiliates. What I'm trying to do here is encourage you to participate in affiliate programs, including, of course, my own, so that you can build that stream of revenue alongside everything else you're doing, right? But in order to do this, like I said, we need to do some work up front. We need to build a system. We need to build the habits, right? And the habit is just having the system in place and knowing in an instant where you go to find an affiliate link that you need in less than 30 seconds, even less than 10 seconds, right? So we'll give you the overview. We'll give you a system for how to track your affiliate programs, like an ultra organized system, as I have here on my slide. And then I'm going to reveal a massive shortcut for super fast results in terms of how to do this and how to do it very effectively. Um, Looking at the list of names, I've got a hand raised. If you have a question, just go ahead and put it in the chat. And then maybe Mariette, since Mary's not here, if you don't mind, just kind of keeping an eye on questions and letting me know, because it's hard for me to kind of do what I'm doing and look at the chat at the same time. If you didn't mean to put your hand up, then let us know that in the chat and we'll put your hand down for you. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who I am, just a little quick bit about who I am. I'm the founder and chief nerd at Nerd Enterprises, Inc. I'm the creator of multiple ventures, 97 and Up, the recent Galaxy support community, and coming very soon, the Holistic Accountant launching. That's going to be my brand new coaching program where I'm going to handhold people through as long as a year-long process for those who want to stick it out. But minimum 3-month process to really help you kind of transform your practice into something that's just insanely organized and lucrative. You know, more money, fewer clients, more free time, more capacity, and really at least pushing you towards, if not transforming you into a true subscription-based model. Mariette, you should be able to turn on your camera. There.
No, I was just asking if you want me to. If not, I could stay off
Oh,
camera.
sorry. Well, all right. Either way, yes, by all means, it would be great to have you. Great to have
I'll stay
another.
off until you want to chit chat with me, and then I'll jump on. How about we do that?
No problem at all.
Okay.
All right. So next question is this: are you dreaming of a steady passive income stream? So if some of you may have joined this because you might have seen Allison Ball's posts about quote mailbox money, and mailbox money is an old term used to refer to the kinds of like royalties and the kinds of streams of income where you don't have to keep reinvesting your time and the money just keeps coming in based on an effort that you made once, right? That's the beauty of an affiliate program is I give somebody a link and I put it out there one time, they sign up, and especially if they sign up for something that's recurring in nature. For example, if somebody refers a member of 97 and up to me, they get paid as long as that person stays a member, a percentage of the revenue that I collect from that member every single month, right? And so it's a great way to do it because everybody wins, right? So if you're dreaming of some kind of a steady passive income stream, you're gonna get paid for the referrals you're already making, right? And that's a big one. A lot of you, like I said, are already referring people to these apps. Might as well check out if they have an affiliate program. And if they do, create some kind of a library of affiliate links so that in a pinch you can grab it in 2 seconds and share it. If you're frustrated by the lack of having used an affiliate link, like I know in the past, I've found myself realizing I've referred so many people to an app that I'm like, I should be an affiliate. Like, how could I not be? And then sometimes it's because they just don't offer it. Other times it's because I didn't bother to check, right? Or if you're just uncertain about a reliable system for tracking, referrals and that kind of thing. Okay. The good news with the right approach, you can build a revenue stream without having to put in constant effort, right? Accounting, frankly, is a model that requires, constant repeat effort, right? You have to keep showing up and doing the work for your clients. And I'm not knocking that. It's a very valid business model. But why not, as long as you have the opportunity to build a side stream of income where it follows more along the lines of this kind of model where I do the effort once and money keeps coming in, right? Nowadays, I think it's less effective than it used to be, but it used to be if you wrote a book and your book was successful, you had mailbox money coming in for as long as people were continuing to buy that book. Nowadays, there's so many books out there that I think it's gotten very sort of noisy, hard to compete. At least the people that I know who are authors, guys like Chris Brogan, have actually advised me against writing a book. I once talked to him about that a few years ago, and he was like, if you do write a book, you should entitle it All My Friends Are A-Holes for recommending that I write a book. Because he was talking to me about how difficult it can be and how much effort it is. He had signed on a contract with Wiley Publishing, and he was required to write 5 books. His first book was very successful, the second one less so, and down it went from there. But it's also a ticket. Like you have a book written, especially if the book is popular. Take a guy like Mike Michalowicz who wrote Profit First. He can that book is his ticket plus others he's written. Those are his tickets into speaking engagements and other things. So I'm not knocking writing books, but you get the idea. Um, Let me just check one thing, a little more housekeeping. All right, Mariette, done, fixed. Everybody should be able to chat with everybody now. Just let me know if anybody has any trouble. Um, so again, the idea here is to create a system, which means a little bit of work up front, so that when the time comes in 2 seconds, you can grab a link, share it. And like one of my favorite things to do is I joined the Brandon's reseller program, ASG, for QuickBooks and related products. And when I learned that you could get affiliate payments for merchant processing for QuickBooks payments, I said, okay, that's the move because I now get monthly, like what Allison referred to as mailbox money. Every single month, I get a report from them that shows me here's all the business that was generated from credit card processing from all the people you've referred. And it's not like life-changing money, but it's something extra that I, that I wouldn't have brought in otherwise. So, anyway, so the idea is upfront setup, then less daily effort, plenty of automation, right? A scalable approach because you have a system that makes it easy for you when the time comes to take advantage. Okay. Now let's go forward 12 months, right? And imagine earning just, even if it's just a few $100s monthly with minimal ongoing work. Like I said, once it's set up, you just share a link and boom, money starts coming in every month. Picture scaling that now to thousands monthly in the near future, a little further future, right? Because once you start building on this, and if you pay attention and treat it like a business, um, that can grow, that can accrue from hundreds a month to thousands a month, right? And then also you're building trust with your clients and colleagues because, and we'll talk about this at a certain point. We'll talk about the potential quote conflicts of interest that people get concerned about here. Assuming you would never in a million years recommend something you didn't absolutely stand by and trust and love, then you're going to build trust with your colleagues and clients because they're going to come to know that, hey, you know what? If Seth recommends something, I know I can trust it. It's got to be good. I know he's taken the time to vet that app. In fact, quick side story here on this. It helped shape some of the ways that I do things in 97 and up. A few years back, I was starting to just invite people on to demonstrate their app without necessarily knowing anything about it. I figured, all right, I'll bring them on. We can all kind of evaluate it together. And I got private feedback from one of our members who shared with me that she was not enjoying the calls as much because she had gotten used to the idea that normally when I bring an app on and have them demo that app on one of our calls, she used to be able to rely on me having vetted that app. So she trusted that when she showed up for that call, it was going to be really worthwhile for her. And that was proving to be less true. So I changed that immediately, because I recognized it was very solid and valuable feedback for me. So that's what I did. I stopped just bringing in any random app and I went back to vetting the apps before I would invite anybody in. And then I took it a step further and I said, as long as I know that I trust the app and the people behind the app that much, when I bring them on a call, I will also invite them in to sort of own their channel in our Slack workspace so that people could give them feedback. And it's not really designed for support, but it winds up being a bit of a support resource in some cases, although we encourage people to use the app's normal support channels. So again, building trust. You don't recommend something unless you can absolutely be certain that you love it and that you've vetted it. And as long as you do that, then you'll have no problem. And this will become, that will be another layer besides the side hustle income. You'll be able to build trust with people because they'll get used to the idea that if you recommend something, they know it's good. Okay. And so how would this change your life? More client referrals because of that increased trust. So now you have clients who are like, hey, you know what? Every app that Mariette has told me to use in my practice works really well. It solves the exact problem I need and more. So now I'm just going to refer more people to her because I trust what she does for me. I trust what she shares with me. And I know that I don't even have to vet it myself because I just trust her that much when she recommends something, right? And that's the key here is you become the trusted source for recommending anything and anyone, including all the apps that you use and love. Okay. And of course, as you build these side hustles, you get more financial freedom. So imagine if you are now in a place where you kind of have to take on whatever client you can get in the door because you need the money. You start building these kind of, side hustle streams of income. That gives you more leverage where you're able to be more and more picky about who you take on, right? So that's another component of this. If you do put some time in and focus on this, then it gives you that extra financial freedom and gives you more options, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is, right? Sure, money can't buy you happiness. We all know that's true, but it does provide comfort and it does give you options. It gives you the flexibility to be able to say, you know what? No, this isn't really the ideal client for me. It's not who I want to work with. I love what Ron Baker and Paul Dunn, the co-authors of the Time's Up book, say that your business is defined by the customers you don't take on. And I just absolutely love that way of looking at it. And of course, again, as long as you're sticking to the principle of only recommending things that you vetted that you can absolutely swear by, then it's enhanced credibility. Okay. So it's affiliate programs that you join and you nurture with intention, right? So you can build these passive income streams. And there are people who are professional affiliate marketers. I had a client like this once, and it's funny because he had two businesses. One was 100% affiliate marketing that he did, and he had a whole website where, for all you knew, on his website, it was his own products he was selling, but they were actually all affiliate links. And he just put the time in. And the thing is, he was really good at SEO, so he knew how to get the traffic to his site to get people clicking on those links. And the beauty of it was almost like an e-commerce business, but zero fulfillment, none of the overhead that e-commerce businesses have. And then the other business he had was an actual e-commerce business, which he wound up shutting down because the affiliate side was so much more lucrative, less overhead, less headaches, just none of it. No warehousing costs, all of it was all the headaches of the e-commerce business were gone. All right. So you can potentially even build a whole career on something like this by becoming a professional affiliate marketer. Now, that's of course going to mean you're going to be writing a lot of content about and doing like reviews of products and that kind of thing. That's what affiliate marketers will typically do when they do it professionally. But the best part is this is actually easy, assuming you're not going to make this into a full-time vocation. You just want to do it as a side hustle. The reason I say you can build it into a massive side hustle is because of what I really want to show you today, as far as how to set this up properly so that when the time comes, you have the links you need at the ready and there's no friction, right? It's got to be frictionless. That's the problem. The minute there's friction, you have things to do. The person you're trying to refer to the app has things to do. Nobody has time for you to spend 30 minutes hunting down a link you recorded 6 months ago and have no idea where you put it. So the whole key to this is getting insanely organized. Um, so step one, today's exercise, all of you right now, stop what you're doing, pay attention. Okay. I don't care if it's a notebook and a pen or a digital version. Ideally, I would love for you to open up a blank note in Notion, right? So you can take notes. And I want you to gather your links. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to list the apps. Okay. You're going to list the different apps that just find the first 5 apps that come top of mind that you're referring people to all the time. I want you to write those apps down in this list. And then this next part, you're not going to do now because I want you to stay focused and pay attention to me. But what I'm going to want you to do right after this webinar or the first opportunity you have is go through each of those websites and find out, A, do they have an affiliate program? I'll show you later how to research this because there's typical places you can go to find out if they have a program at all. And even if you don't see it, the last resort is you reach out to them and ask them, hey, do you have an affiliate or partner program? Right? Because a lot of times they don't advertise it, but it's there. So log into each of these websites. If they have an affiliate program, if you already have an affiliate relationship with them, then log in and get your links to the specific page or product on their website that you want to be able to recommend. Okay. And within that and across these apps, and you'll increase the list, just the first 5 are probably the lowest hanging fruit that you have, right? But then, so as that list grows, you identify and choose the ones that you think best resonate with your audience or the ones that are just most sort of logical to recommend to people, especially the ones that anybody that you take on as a client, for example, you're instantly going to recommend that they need to sign up for said app. Okay. A lot of you probably use Keeper, for example, Keeper app. They have an affiliate program, but as far as I understand, it's been a minute since I've used the app. But I don't think it's the kind of thing where your client is going to sign up separately. I think you sign them up in your portal. So you're not going to generate affiliate revenue from something like that. But you might generate affiliate revenue from referring your other accounting and bookkeeping colleagues to use Keeper. I do that, and I get affiliate payments from Keeper, small amounts. I don't care. It's something I didn't have to do anything to earn after I did the initial setup. So once in a while, I get an email notification from them saying, "Hey, you earned some affiliate money this month." And I don't care. Maybe it's just $100. Who cares? It's $100 more than I would have had if I hadn't taken the time one time a while ago to set this up and put the link out there. Okay. We're going to talk about my own affiliate program, and I'm going to have this way. It's not just coming from my mouth. I'll have Mariette speak to it a little bit. In my own affiliate program, you can recommend any one of my courses, or you can get an affiliate link to. The bottom line is any affiliate link that you get and use, as long as one of your affiliate links sent somebody to my website, you'll get credit for anything they buy, and I pay my affiliate commissions out quarterly. The only thing is, and that's why I have this third bullet point, is it is important to note, and I try to be very transparent about this, is those links reset after 90 days. So if somebody clicks on your affiliate link today, doesn't buy anything, and comes back 91 days later and doesn't use your affiliate link, but just goes onto my website, then they won't get tracked to you. So going back to processes, my answer to you on that is just first of all, you should not be waiting 90 days to remind people of whatever these programs are that you're recommending, right? They forget about you after 30 days. So pretty much that's why I send my email out every week, is because I've noticed myself, if somebody sends an email newsletter out to me and it's like once a month, I'm more likely to opt out, because by the time I get it, I'm like, why am I getting this? I forget, right? So it's important to stay in touch frequently with the people that you're making these recommendations to. And we'll get into that in a little bit more depth in a little while. Okay. And again, going back to the whole integrity and trust thing, quality over quantity always, right? Again, you're not going to recommend garbage to people. Okay, step two, we're going to organize your links in a trusted system so that it says here under 30 seconds. I want you to be able to find something in under 10. And I'm going to show you mine in a few minutes, how quickly I'm going to go through the whole process from a blank browser tab to how quickly I can get in and get access to my list of affiliate links, and how quickly I can search within that to pull up a particular one. You're going to see it's going to be less than 10 seconds. So use a trusted system. Make sure you have an easy way to find it when you need it, assuming you have no independent recollection of where it is. And then that way you ensure that you never miss an opportunity for a referral. Okay. And then plan it, right? I'm going to walk you through this too. We're going to create a simple spreadsheet so you can model out your different affiliate programs and how many referrals you want to get each month. Again, this is going to be treated almost like its own business. Any time you are thinking, I want to make some kind of an effort at building any stream of revenue, whether it's a side hustle or your main hustle, I don't care. You have to treat it like a business. It's like anything else. What you put into it is what you get out of it. If you think you're just going to throw a link out there and magically people are going to come and buy your and click on your junk, it's not going to happen. Right? There has to be intention behind this. And a big part of that intention is building a plan and saying, here are the main affiliate links that I want to share. Here are the main apps I want to refer people to, or programs. And this is how I'm going to plan how many referrals I want to get for each of these every single month. Right? So we need to do some planning here. It can't just be willy-nilly, throw some crap on the wall and see if it sticks. It's never going to work. Right? You're going to sit there 6 months later going, I wonder why that never worked. Right. And then a big part of that is step 4 here. Get in the habit of sharing. Just look for opportunities, especially when you're starting out. This is how you form the habit, is by being conscious of the habit that you want to form, which means I need to go look for opportunities to share my affiliate links. Right. So seek it out. Stop every time you're writing an email to somebody and start training yourself to think. The minute that it becomes apparent that I'm about to recommend an app, it should become a habit that you form to stop what you're doing in that email. And again, assuming you have a system you can trust, in less than 10 seconds, you should be able to get into your system and confirm whether or not you have an affiliate link for the app you're about to recommend. Boom, copy it, paste it, wrap the link in some text. And I'll get into later why that's important. You don't want to just drop a URL, a messy looking URL, into an email or a Slack message or a social thread, whatever it is. You want it to look nice. But bottom line, You have to force the habit at first of sharing. At first, it's forced, then it just becomes habit, right? And now let's quickly talk about the conflict of interest. So for CPAs in certain states, you do have to understand you may be limited. Your hands may be tied by the rules. So make sure you're aware of that if that's the case. So I know that in some states, if you have a CPA license, you are not allowed to participate in these kind of affiliate or partner programs. Research it, find out what the rules are, see if there are any loopholes, right? Because for everyone else, as I've already said a few times, you're only going to recommend products you truly believe in. And that's how you resolve any conflicts of interest. You act with integrity and you only share what you would share anyway, even if you weren't getting a commission. To me, that's the golden rule. If I would share this regardless, in other words, getting the affiliate commission is secondary to the fact that I'm already sharing the app because I love and trust this app and I believe it is going to improve the lives of the people that I recommend it to, right? That's the bottom line. And that is the golden rule. Okay. So I'll stop and see if we have any questions for a minute. And then I want to get into our exercises for this morning. So we're going to get here to a blank page. And I will also start with explaining exactly how I can quickly find my own affiliate links when I need them in a pinch. And bear with me here while I kind of just organize my screens a little bit. And I see a lot of notes in the chat. Thank you, Mariette. This is amazing.
I'll just add, Seth, while you're getting ready, I think the planning is really important. I feel like it's the understanding first, which I love you're doing the session today to understand the concept of affiliates, which again was previously mail money, but now it's this whole affiliate concept and passive income concept. So understanding it and then organizing it, which again, I know that hopefully you obviously going to show Notion as part of that, but I shared in the chat like Notion has been like a huge time saver for me because everything is in Notion. And so I can go like right now when you were talking about your affiliate links, I was like, oh, you know what? You reminded me. Let me make sure I have quick access to the affiliate links. So like in a second, I just control K in Notion. I found you as my, in my bestie contacts as you're in my like extra, special contacts. I go into the area that says your affiliates and I found it in, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds. So like it's good as a reminder to just remember like how quickly can you get to this?
Mhm.
And then step three is planning. Like now, how are you going to share it? So I shared an example of how February was all about loving my community and loving my mentors. And so it just kind of goes with the flow. So it's not like, hey, I want to share how awesome Seth is, buy his stuff. It's more like February is about sharing people that are really good and that do amazing things. Just in case you didn't know, Seth is one of them, and here is what he's doing. So it's, I and people have shared back with me like the reason why I trust you is because you don't just randomly throw things at me. It's like this thread where you're convincing me and I'm trusting you. And then when you share about Seth or Mike or Alicia or whoever, I've already built the trust where I'm just going to go with whoever you say. Like I am just going to go with them. So that's why the planning is so important because you have to plan on how you're going to build that relationship, how you're going to build that trust. And then when you're eventually throwing out your links, it doesn't feel like a sales at all. It just feels like you're sharing, and people are so grateful for it. So,
Yeah.
again, that all goes with step three. I just wanted
Yep.
to share that.
Thank you. No, that's great. That's great. And that is really, really important that you're not just going to go into some social thread and randomly throw a link in there and say, "Hey, click my junk and sign up for this." It's not, it's you're going to add value. You're going to provide a ton of value in answering someone's question. And then it's more like, "Hey, by the way, I highly recommend this app. I've used it and it has really helped me with this very process that you're asking for help with." Right? So here are the exercises. The first thing again is inventory your tech stack. Right now, where would I go if I was just doing this from scratch and I hadn't already had a system for this? Well, notice in my bookmarks bar, I have a folder called apps. And this is by no means the complete list of apps that I use, but the reason this is here and these links are in it are because these are the things I use most frequently. So this is most likely where I want to start to find the apps that I would certainly want to recommend, and then either and join their affiliate programs if they have one, and for that matter, research whether or not they do have one. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do is inventory your tech stack. Okay. And then based on that, start researching whether or not they have an affiliate, or sometimes they'll call it a partner program. Bottom line, do they pay you for referrals? That's what you're looking for. And sometimes it's not always direct in the sense of getting paid. For example, Airtable is a tool that I've used and loved for many, many years. And as I've said, once I came to use and love it, then I realized that I wanted to refer people to it. I did videos on it, and a lot of people, of course, would likely be signing up for it. So I researched it. Sure enough, I didn't even have to sign up. Anytime you set up an account in Airtable, it's actually in your account settings, and you'll see they encourage you to share Airtable, and they give you your own unique referral link. Well, what Airtable does is they don't pay you, but they give you discounts against your fees for Airtable. So the most it'll ever do is it'll make your Airtable free, assuming you're continually referring people, because you get for each referral like a one-time credit of $10 or something. But the beauty of that program, what I love about it, and this is important, when you choose to participate in an affiliate program, you should learn about it. You should understand exactly how it works, because that's also going to give you context for what kind of sort of effort or plan you're going to build around making those referrals. So with Airtable, you get credit. You get that $10 credit for anybody who clicks on your link and signs up for even a free Airtable account. Most affiliate programs, you're not going to get paid unless they're getting paid. Um, So keep that in mind, right? So Airtable, it's just something where as long as I'm already putting content out there, or if I'm in a conversation in which somebody's saying, "Hey, does anybody know of a good system for tracking?" And then you fill in the blank with their generic description of what it turns out Airtable would be really good at tracking, then I answer the question, explain why Airtable is a great solution, talk a little bit about what you can do. In other words, I don't write a 3 sentence answer. I give them a good, detailed, high value answer that will be useful to them even without the recommendation of Airtable. And then I go in there and throw in, hey, and by the way, Airtable is a great solution for this. Here's a link, you can check it out. And the beauty of that one is it's going to be free for them to check out, right? So I'm not asking them to go shell money out. I'm saying, hey, check it out. If you like it, great. If not, no harm, no foul. And yet I still get the $10 credit, whether they sign up and pay for it or not. Okay, so that's the programs. Now, let me show you what I promised earlier in terms of if Mariette reaches out to me and says, "Hey, Seth, do you have an affiliate link for whatever app?" So now it's spur of the moment. She's in Slack. I know if I don't answer Mariette in like 30 seconds, she's gone. She's busy, right? Right, Mariette? So I need to get her a response quickly on that one. Otherwise, she's going to just go sign up without using my affiliate link, possibly. So here's how it works. Here's my Notion. Of course, it's linked right in the browser toolbar at the top. Okay. And then in Notion, I have bookmarks, and I have a tab here called affiliate links. Affiliates. Boom. This is every single affiliate program that I care about. I'm sure I have others that I don't. So there's Airtable, right? So as quickly as I got here, I can click that copy icon, and I can drop my Airtable affiliate link in the chat app here, and all of you can go click on it and get me a $10 credit against my Airtable bill for next month, right? Some of them work a little differently. Here's FunThrough. FunThrough is an app that I found because I did a course on factoring receivables, and I forget who it was that recommended this to me, but somebody in our community who knew I was working on this course, this is a few years ago, said, "Seth, have you heard of FunThrough?" And I said, "No." And this is what it was. I think somebody saw them at QuickBooks Connect and said, "Seth, you got to check them out." So I did. I got on a call with them, and I fell so in love with their app that I actually wrote in a lesson into the course on their app specifically and recommended it, and got on a Zoom, and boom. So they set up, it's been a long time, so this may be embarrassing if they've taken my page down, but let's click on it and see. Nope. Here it is. And so this is a little more of a like baked in embedded affiliate program. It's not just a link. They actually built out a page for me because of the relationship that I created with them. And that can be very valuable, especially because now anybody who takes my factoring course, who then clicks on this link, which of course is given in the lesson that I did on this product, I'm getting affiliate commissions for, for whatever fees they pay FunThrough based on what they sign up for, right? So that's how quick it is. I've got a system that I've built out that makes it 2 seconds, right? Here, you want to try Notion? There's my Notion link. Paste that in. Okay. So there's my Notion link. Mariette may have shared her Notion link already. So she did use hers. All right. And that's the thing about this. I don't care. I'm not competing with anybody for this. It's just here if anybody needs it, right? Humble is my newest. I mentioned it earlier. It's my Slack alternative. And again, now it's part of my regular process that anytime I start using a new app, it's almost one of the first things I do is, do they have an affiliate sharing link? And like Airtable, they have it baked in. It's right in my account settings, but it's like this long, clunky, ugly URL. So notice what I did here. I used my branded link shortener. So it's nerdyurl.com/pumble, right? Oh, and Jesse, to answer your question, a long time ago, I abandoned Opera for Edge. The biggest reason, the biggest selling point for me was these vertical tabs that you're seeing with these vertical tabs groups, which get remembered. If I close this browser session completely, I could restart my computer, open it back up, and it remembers all these tabs as long as they're inside of a tab group. But this is so much better than what most of you all have with the tabs across the top, where you have so many of them open that you can't even tell what's in which tab. And I've seen this with clients. It's hilarious because then they open up like they have three different versions of the same tab open because when they went to find it, they couldn't. So instead of closing up their tabs, they're doing a better job of organizing it. Some of you are probably feeling very called out right now because I know a lot of people do this. So I actually have not missed Opera. I find that Edge works really, really well. And the other motivating factor, this is off topic, but I'll bring it back in a minute. But the other motivating factor was when Edge was newer, I was reading article upon article about how well designed this browser was. It was like they took, because so many browsers had been out there for so long, they were able to capitalize on that and improve on every other browser out there. So I had gone from Chrome to Opera and now to Edge. And a few times I have looked back at Opera and thought, would I want to go back? And no, because I'm just so sold on these vertical browser tabs. My whole workflow is based on this. Every time I do a webinar or some kind of a screen share, somebody usually will ask me, "Hey, what's that? What are those tabs on the side?" People think this is part of Notion. It's not. This is Edge, right? And I've got browser tabs based on anybody who follows my stuff knows my sort of life philosophy here, where it's broken down into these main areas: body, mind, and spirit, time, people, and money. Right. And then further under the heading of money is projects, which is what we're into right now, which is my project for this webinar. So I want to bring it back to that. Okay. So you have to have a system you can trust. And I just showed you what that looks like. And I'll come back and show you how to build something like that from a blank page. But first, I want to address some of the other things that I went over in my introduction here, such as building a model for this in Google Sheets. Okay. Before I dive in and shift gears, any questions? Okay. So as you can see, I highly recommend Notion as the tool to use to track bookmarks or anything for that matter. But that's another subject for another day. So maybe it's time I actually do another live webinar on Notion and invite people in. Or once I launch my coaching program, you can join that because the whole first phase of it is going to be where I basically put you into my Notion system and handhold you through everything from setup to having a system you can trust where you'll never have to worry about what you need to do next. So using what we've listed, right, we want to lay out the streams, and I'm going to just use Google Sheets because talk about fast. Look how quickly I can be in a new spreadsheet in Google Sheets. You just type sheets.new. How many people knew about that? Usually I get at least a few people who were like, oh, I didn't know that.
Where did you type sheets.new?
And my
I've seen you
URL,
do that so many times, but you do it so fast I forget.
new tab, and it's just the URL, the same way I
Ah,
would
new
type.
tab. That's what you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you can do it in an existing tab if you just want to get out of, like if I wanted to get out of this and just go into a new spreadsheet, I could type it. It's just, you're just typing a URL, right? It's just like I've even created hyperlinks to sheets.new so that I could quickly just click on that and it'll open up a new tab with a brand new Google Sheet.
And is it the same thing for all the stuff? Docs.new, like is it the
Yeah,
same?
docs.new, slides.new. Yeah, just about any Google app, you have that version of that. I think it's forms.new. If I forget if it's form singular. Let's
Very
see if
cool.
it's
Thank
plural.
you.
Yeah, so it's plural forms.new, and you're in a brand new Google form. Every one of their applications has a version of that. Yep. So now let's just title this something generic for now. We'll call it my affiliate programs. Okay. And let's just say we want Nerd Enterprises to be one of them. Okay. And again, I have a lot of different programs you can refer. And so if you sign up for my affiliate program, which I'll show you where to do that, because obviously you're going to be wondering, then you'll see there's a lot of different links you can get because you can send people to a specific course, or you can just send people to my training resources page. And basically, and this depends, and it goes back to that planning part where you have to decide, like Mariette just did the video, and she wasn't recommending any specific, actually, she was recommending a very specific thing, right? So you have to decide what's my campaign? What kind of outreach am I doing? If your goal is to refer people to my 97 and up program, then you're going to find a share link to this page right here, but the link is going to be a little different because it's going to have your affiliate code baked into the URL, right? But basically, that's where you're going to send people because you're going to say, "Hey, you got to check out Seth's 97 up program. It's I've heard it's amazing." Or hopefully, if you're in it, then you can speak from experience and say that it's amazing. Okay. To join, the link is right up here. We earlier this year we completely revamped our website and just the goal was to make it like drop dead simple to find what you need, right? So right here, affiliates. If you're an existing affiliate, you can log in. If you're not, you can sign up, right? Signing up is easy. You just basically create an account in my affiliate system, which is separate, by the way, from my main website system. That sometimes confuses people. It's beyond my control. It's Kajabi, which is the platform I use to build my website. And that's how they've set it up. So even if you already have an account where you have access to my courses, if you're signing up to be an affiliate, it's a separate sign up. So you will need to sign up here and just keep track. What I suggest to most people is just use the same exact username and password. So wherever you go, it's the same login, right? So that's what you do. And you can kind of scroll through the page here and kind of see some of this needs to be updated because this is from before I lowered the prices on all my courses. So obviously, if the price is lower, the commission is lower. I do have to get that up to date. But we pay, it's really not on average. It's pretty strict at this point that we pay 20% commission on anything you refer. So if you refer somebody to us for 97 and up, and they're paying, let's just round it up and say $200 a month, you're getting $20 a month. It may not sound like a lot, but here's the deal. Let's get more specific and say 97 and up. Okay. And let's start with just 1/1/25, right? So we have like a date in this year. Okay. A few pro tips that have nothing to do with affiliate programs. But watch this trick equals e date. Okay. And then it needs a start date, comma, and the number that we want to use to increment the months. Okay. So one, I just want to add 1 month. And then I can copy that across to build this plan out, right? So I get out to December, and we're now in February, and February is going to be over in like a minute. So let's assume by the time you get set up, you'll start referring people in March. So let's say the goal is in March to refer one person, right? And we know that the fee is 197 a month, or let's be conservative and say they might take advantage of a promo as I often offer them. And let's say it's going to be 147 a month. Plan it based on this. This way, if somebody signs up at 197, great, your commission is going to be that much higher, but this makes it conservative. All right, the rate is 20%. That times that, right? So you get 29.40 per referral per month, right? And that's the beauty of this is monthly recurring. You make the effort once, get somebody to sign up, and they're in. So now we're just going to see what you're going to make that times that, right? So the number of people you refer times the amount you get per referral per month. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to, this is a formula writing technique. I want to hold B6 constant so I can copy this to the right, that it's always going to be multiplying by that 29.40. So $B, $6. And now let's finish the planning. So we're going out to December, right? Let's say then I get two, and let's just say I get 2 referrals per month. Let's be conservative again. We're talking about a side hustle here, right? And so this Just making sure that the references look good. Okay, so by the end of the year, you'll be getting 58.80 per month, right? So annualized, that's already $705. Like I said, it's not life-changing money, but as you grow this, you can make it massive. It depends on how much time and attention you want to give it. Let's say you're going to be more intentional, especially let's say you have an email list that you email to regularly and it's based on people who trust what you recommend. Then you could be more aggressive about this and say, the first month I'll get one because I'm just kind of ramping up and figuring it out. Then maybe I'll get three, right? And another trick, I'll set this is like a financial modeling trick. Let's just set each month equal to its prior. That way I can easily adjust this and say, all right, so the next couple months I'll get like 3 new people. So this is new people each month, right? But keep in mind, this is recurring. So to get the recurring, well, no, let's assume that that's built in, right? So one of these 3 is the first one that we got here, and so on, right? And then let's say it remains at 3 for 2 months, then 4. Let's say every 2 months we increase it by 1, 6, right? 7. So this, in other words, this scales pretty quickly. Now we're at 2,500 a year. Keeping in mind, very little effort. It's not like accounting clients where you have to spend all kinds of time making sure their books are reconciled and up to date. This is, you're going to take advantage of the opportunity when and as it arises, but you're also going to look for and try and cultivate those opportunities, right? You're going to try and make those opportunities happen by paying attention and participating so that whenever it's appropriate, you drop the link in here, right? Selfishly focusing on my own program, which I would love for any of you to join my affiliate program and make these referrals, and I would love to pay you for them. Then you see yourself in a conversation in a Facebook thread where somebody's like, hey, I'm starting out. I need help building my practice. Can anybody recommend a good, supportive, nurturing community? And I think I can safely say that most people, if not all the people in that program, in my program, would vouch for this, that it is a very supportive and nurturing community. Then you can share that and say, here's a link if you want to check it out. There's almost always a free trial for 30 days, right? I've made that pretty standard. I'm not going to promise that I'm always going to do that, but it's been a while now that I've offered a free 30-day trial because I found it's helpful. It eliminates the risk for the person signing up. And frankly, I found that more people stay, or more people join in the first place, and then a lot of them stay when I give them an opportunity to try it out for free, right? And basically, it puts the risk and the onus on me as the owner of the program that you might become an affiliate of here, that I have to prove myself. One of the things I love about the subscription model is I have to prove myself every month over and over again to make sure that I earn people's business. If I stop producing, if I stop adding value for people in my program, they're going to quit because they're not going to keep paying if they're not getting value, right? So I actually love that aspect of it because I love the sort of personal responsibility that comes with that. So that's this one. Okay. Let's anybody want to volunteer and give me an example of something that, having heard what you've heard so far, maybe an app that you're referring people to. Let's go through the process here. We'll do this as an exercise. I just need somebody to either chime in the chat, or yeah, because if you're an attendee, you can't unmute. I would love somebody to give me an example of an app that you're using that, now that you think about it, now that you've heard everything I've had to say so far, you would love to look into whether there's an affiliate program. Perfect, Gusto. All right, so here's what we do. So the first thing is, let's go back to my notes here, right? And we're going to do Gusto. Okay, so that's the first app on my list. Let's go to their website, gusto.com, not Gisto. That's a different app. Okay, so I'm on their website, but I'm looking specifically for their affiliate program. So I'm going to teach you a trick. And that trick is going to be to take your scroll bar here in your browser and go all the way down to the bottom. Usually that's where you'll find information about an app's affiliate program. Is way, way at the bottom of the page. Now, because of Gusto and the nature of what it is, this is kind of what you're probably going to be looking for, is this for accountant section, and boom, right here, become a partner. So we're going to click on that. And the first thing I'm going to do before I go a step further, this is about, again, building a system, using a system you can trust. The reason I trust my Notion system is because it's not just the app, but it's my process for how I use and work and live in the app. So without taking another second, I know I want to record this because I may not have time right this minute to get this all set up, but I don't want to have to go looking for this again. So I'm going to go back to my notes. Okay. And I'm going to paste that link in. Notion gives you choices as to how to render a link like this. So I'm just going to keep it as a URL, which it embeds the URL into the text, which is great. Earlier, I mentioned about this, and I promise you I'll explain why that's important. First and foremost, it's important because this looks a lot nicer than if I just pasted the raw URL. The other thing is if I'm sending this in an email, and I just put a raw URL in an email, that is very likely to trigger spam filters. I've learned this because I learned these things from other people whose experience I trust, right? So anytime you're sending an email out, like a broadcast kind of email, you want to bake your link into some text like this. It's just more likely to get clicked on anyway, because when people see those raw links, it's just a little like scary looking almost. Like I don't like clicking on those unless I really trust it, right? So the question, how do we access your affiliate links for other nerd enterprises stuff? Mariette, do you want to share maybe and just log into your affiliate portal on my site? Because obviously for me as the admin of it, it's not going to look the same.
Sure.
So
Okay,
just
let me
pull it
share.
up first before you share and make sure there's nothing like sensitive. I don't think there
Yeah.
would
Oh,
be.
yeah,
It's
I know. I was
yeah,
gonna do that.
just making sure. And
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you
yeah.
do that, I'll be back in 60 seconds. I'm going to refill my coffee here.
Okay, 60 seconds. I think I should be fine. Okay, so let me share. I'm gonna actually share two things that I think may be helpful for y'all. Okay, here we go. Let me share. Oh, hopefully he gave me. Oh yeah, he gave me access to share. Okay, perfect. Okay, so here is okay, so I just wanted to first show you. So this was what I was sharing before. Like I have Seth again, it's not beautifully organized, which again is I think this is true to share our messes. Like my Notion does not look like anything like Seth. I just want to get in there, I want to get things done. And so I have him under my contacts. I was able to pull up Seth. I was able to go to Seth's affiliate link. So this is actually where I keep my links. That way I don't have to go into his affiliate dashboard because that for me is more work. And so I keep him in my Notion and I keep all of my affiliate programs in my Notion. So basically they're a contact in my Notion. I find them and I keep them there. But if I did want to go to his affiliate board, obviously I have a direct link to his dashboard. And so that's why I was able to get there so quickly. And so here's his dashboard. And in his dashboard, I will say I get more confused, and that's why Seth says that I don't have patience and I won't wait more than a minute. Like if I come in here and I'm like, what am I grabbing here? I'll be honest, I don't know if you can do this with Seth. I will send him a Slack and just be like, which is the one to share your new Galaxy or your new 97 and up? Like sometimes I have to ask him because again, like true back behind the scenes, like this could overwhelm someone and they just don't know what to do at this point.
And
So
just for context on, because trust me, I'm dying to clean that up and just remove a bunch of the links. I almost did that one day, and then it occurred to me that if anybody is using that share link and has it out there on a website and I remove it, then their affiliate link will crash. It will take people to a 404 page. And so I don't want to do that. It's not right to do. So unfortunately, there's no way for me to organize it for you. So basically, Mariette is one of my favorite affiliate partners because I just lean on Mariette. When Mariette says, "Hey, we need a link for this new program," that's how I know, oh crap, I've got to go add that. Right. So
it's true, and that's why I showed you. Like for me, for my like sanity, like I'll go and I'll look on that dashboard, and then I'll just go into my Notion where I have sets like very specific links that I want to share, and he'll tell me, okay, here's the 97 up one here, like three or four of them, and I'll go put them in my Notion, and I prefer to get them there then go to his dashboard. But when I know he's changing things, and this goes for all, many people are changing their affiliate programs or things like that. When you know one of your partners is changing things, don't be afraid to like tap into them and be like, hey, I noticed you just sent out a affiliate email or update saying that you changed dashboard, you changed this. Where can I go get that now? Because they're not always gonna like proactively send everybody their stuff. Most likely they're not because they have a lot. So just tap into them and ask them, like, where can I get the most updated stuff? And so that's what I do with all my partners.
yeah. Yeah, and so I highly recommend, even if you're in my affiliate program, that you seek out the links that you want to use and keep track of them in a system. I showed you mine where I do it in a table. Mariette showed you her page, which is more like free form, just laid out on the page. Whatever, excuse me, whatever works for you. Just, I wouldn't recommend counting on logging into my affiliate portal because, as Mariette just showed you, there's just a long list of links and it's going to get overwhelming quickly. So grab what you need. And as Mariette pointed out, anybody who knows me knows you can pretty much reach out to me and say, which is the best link to use for X? And I will check into it myself. And oftentimes what that translates to is I'll create a brand new share link because sometimes when that comes up, it's because I hadn't created that new link yet for anyone. So I try to be very responsive about these things and make sure that I get you each what you need. So Terry's asking about the Notion affiliate link. I shared mine a few, it's probably already buried in the chat. So,
I
so
think
yeah,
she
let's,
means like I think they mean like what other.
oh, the list that I have. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let's look at how to do that using my system, right? So let me go back here and we'll go to my operating system and we'll go to my bookmarks. And here's affiliates. So a couple ways I could do this. This is actually publicly shared, but I have to think about that for a minute. I may need to change that before I share it with you because since this is Notion, and the reason I like Notion for bookmarks is I can add all kinds of other context to any of these pages with the links. So I need to make sure there's nothing sensitive in here on my end because like sometimes I'll do stuff like Airtable's clean, but sometimes down here I might have like additional information that's just for me. That wouldn't be something I would want shared because it might just have to do with, just sensitive stuff. Not so much in the affiliates, but I have, all kinds of other bookmarks in here that sharing that would give you access to. So I
Seth,
will,
I want to ask you a question while you're doing that though, because I feel like it's something I, have been challenged with.
mhm.
And again, I don't want to go into a whole Notion class here, but since I use Notion for this, what I struggle with is I have contacts, just regular contacts that I'm trying to keep track of. I have like contacts that are, a fit like I have affiliate links to them. So these are more like programs, partners, but they could also be what I call like my business besties, like you and Mike and Alicia. And then I have just like apps that I have no relation to, like Notion, for example, that I don't have a relationship with them, but I want to keep their affiliate link. So like, and I kind of have them in different places. So I've personally been struggling a little bit about how to say, I have all these different like humans and organizations, but several of them are affiliates, even though they are different like people in my life and different programs in my life, and it confuses me. So, does that
Yeah, I
confuse
mean,
you?
that's in fact, we have our Notion Labs call tomorrow. So join that and I can definitely dive deep on that for you. Um, the quick answer is with Notion. I'll show you because, like I said, I have a concern in sharing this with you. In fact, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to unpublish this because in theory, I can think of one thing off the top of my head that's in here, not in the affiliates list, but once I give you that access, you'd have access to all of this. But I have stuff in here that's got like password information that I definitely wouldn't want to be sharing, associated with some of these apps. Just stuff I do at close reach. So here's what I'll do instead to compile it in a way that will make it shareable without compromising anything is I'm gonna back up to here to my main hub. And let me just zip that up so I don't have all this scroll. And I'm just going to go into my notes database. And so this is a quick like Notion tutorial. So I'm going to create a new note and I'm going to call it Nerds Affiliate. And by the way, really what I want to speak to as I'm doing this in the bigger picture and going back into the subject of today's call is that this is part of having a good system that you can use that you know how to use. The reason I'm going to be able to do what I'm about to show you and do it so quickly is because I learned to use the tools that I use, right? I don't just scratch the surface. I go deep and I understand every little nook and cranny. Notion is about understanding the building blocks that they give you. It's like digital Lego in a way, and you learn how to what all the building blocks are and how to put them together. So that's what I'm about to do, and I'm going to do it quickly. And so before you ask if I can go slower and show you how to do that, the answer is no, because there's not enough time, and that's not the subject of today's call. But I do want to show you just at a high level what you should be thinking about in terms of the system I'm going to use to keep track of this and how easy I can make it to share stuff with people, right? And because I use this for so many other things, such as I mentioned, sensitive information, that's why I have to be careful. You could do yours in a Google Sheet. And especially now with Google Sheets new tables, I don't know if you noticed, but it asks me if I want to create a table. These tables in Google Sheets, in a way, it's like turning Google Sheets into Airtable. They're actually beautiful. So I'd encourage you to consider that as an option if you don't want to dive into a tool like Notion. But watch this. So I'm going to do /linked, which gets me the option to create a linked view of a database. Okay. I know that I need my bookmarks, links, and websites database. I have these visuals here, the icons that I choose very intentionally so that in a case exactly like this, I know what I'm looking for. Okay, and initially it's just going to bring in everything that's in that database. What I'm going to do is filter it for where the affiliate URL is not empty. Okay, again, without getting into too technical Notion stuff, I want to add this to an advanced filter. Okay, and then we're going to go here and I'm going to go to properties so I can see which columns are going to show up here. You don't need projects, you just need my affiliate URL, right? You need app and affiliate URL. Okay, now let's just make this look pretty. I'll randomly just pick an icon for now. Normally I would take the time to choose something that fits what the subject matter is. Okay, and now what I've done is I've created a note that I can share that doesn't give you access to any of the rest of it. Boom. I'll publish this. Boom. I love donuts. Actually, I think that's a bagel. Yeah, that's a bagel. There it is, Terry. There's your link. All right. Yeah, me too. The other thing I should do while I'm here is I'm going to open up a browser session where I know I'm not logged in to Notion, so I can mimic what it's going to look like for you. And sure enough, you can't see this, my other browser window, because it's not shared, but I just confirmed that there's no access because I need to tweak one little setting so that you will have access. So let me do that real quick. This is the root database. It's already configured to not show any of the details inside of it. That's by design. So I'm pretty sure if I publish this, that will fix it. But let's test it again. So anytime you're doing something like this, especially when it comes to like sharing whatever link you're sharing for people to access your affiliate links, you always want to test. So let me switch my sharing over. Share. Okay, so here's my test browser session. And sure enough, here, there's access. If you click the filter, you can filter within this, but the trick to why I had added my filter to an advanced filter was that, and you wouldn't know this, except that I've gone deep with Notion and I've gone through a lot of their documentation and I've learned these things when I've needed to. I know that by adding it to an advanced filter, when I share this view with you, you don't have access to the existing filters. You can further filter it, but you can't change the filters that I've included, right? You can change the sort, but not the filter. All right, so that should work. That should give you access to all of my stuff. Let me switch my sharing back to my other window. And yeah, as Mariette said, you just had a scary look into my brain.
No, okay. So I love this though. And again, obviously we'll get into it tomorrow in our Notion lab, which again another benefit of Seth's value is having that lab. Just so I understand. So basically, did you do it where you filtered with any contact that had an affiliate URL, which basically says these are all affiliates? Is that what you
Yeah,
did?
when I created that, there's any number of ways you could do it. I could have added a tag and called it affiliate and then filtered for anything that had that tag. What I chose to do, which is a little bit lazy, but it actually works probably better in some ways, is the way I chose to set up the filter was I filtered on the affiliate URL property or column,
Right.
and I said, show me any records where this is not blank. In other words, if there's an affiliate link, then it should appear on the list.
I love that. And then you can turn that into one of your, I forget what you call it, but one of the views in your bar, like of all your different, because I like to see things in views. Like I like to
Well,
see
so
the,
I added that to a separate note though,
okay,
because I already had it as a view in my main bookmarks table, but if I want to share it from there, I'm sharing everything in that table, and I don't want to
got
do
it.
that.
Okay. But we could do that. We can add it as a different view. So it's just another view in our table.
Absolutely. Just be
Okay.
careful about what like I said, test it. So and again, this goes to when you're designing your whole affiliate program and, figuring out what your process is, make sure that you understand what you're sharing with people and make sure that you don't share anything you don't mean to, right? Like you might, if you're like me, I have notes on everything. It's going to be another
Right.
topic that's already been requested for tomorrow's Notion Labs call. And by the way, anybody's invited, even if you're not in my bulletproof Notion. I decided to kind of open that up, so you're welcome to it. Just reach out to
Oh.
me afterwards, and I'm happy to invite you. Well, it's a little selfishly motivated because I'm thinking if people participate in that, they might be motivated to want to sign
Yeah, I
up.
love that though, because I may have to ask some people that have been like trying to figure it out. One last thing I want to add because it's definitely related to this session today. So you just created this affiliate link page, which now I understand why it's a page versus a view. But now everybody has access to your affiliate links if they want to share about those programs. Now they'll use your link, which means you'll get the affiliate income for it.
Yes, but let me actually sort of tack on a pro tip to that. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, the quick answer is yes, I now have that note that I created and I could share the link to that note, right? And so let's go back to that real quick.
And the reason why I asked, just so I get people that always are like, Mariette, you're the one that shared it. So I want to give you the affiliate link. I want your affiliate link so you can get credit. So I feel like having a page where you could just send it to people and then they have access to all your affiliate links,
Yeah, I
it's
get it.
genius.
Yeah. So, and that's where I'm going. So, yeah. So now that I have this, I could easily just, I could even put an email out there. Like when I send my weekly email this week, I could say, hey, by the way, everybody, and a lot of you are always asking me if I have an affiliate link for this thing or that thing. Well, here's the list, right? And so they could come here and they can use this search. For example, let's say somebody was like, hey, that fund through app looked interesting. You can just type fund in the search here, and that's enough. And then boom, you've got your affiliate link. Okay. However, here's what I would recommend doing instead of this. This is cool and it's easy enough for anyone to do. What I would honestly recommend is build a page out on your website with all your different affiliate or partners, or your partners, call it a partners page or affiliates, whatever you want to call it. I would build out a page. I had one at one time, but I hated the design of it. It was like each thing took up too much space and there was too big of a list, so it was hard to find what you needed. But I may at some point build it. In other words, you want something that's laid out like with small tiles that's easy to navigate. For example, what we just recently redid with our training resources area. Like, look how easy this is to navigate. On the left, I can filter by topic. Like, boom, there's e-commerce. I've got one course, right? These are all the courses that are included in 97 and up. I love that we have this now because a lot of people would ask me, and I'm like, I don't even know. There've been so many courses over so much time. But now I have it. Okay, so these are the 11 courses that you get access to with 97 and up, right? And so, by the way, this is something that's important to research. If you want to refer people as one of my affiliates to 97 and up, you might want to spend some time on this page and kind of document this so that when you're sharing with people, you can tell people, hey, by the way, in addition to everything else, you get access to these 11 courses and they're amazing courses. At least I hope that's what you would be inclined to say about them. Right. And so, in other words, like I said in the beginning, be intentional, take the time, do the research, because effectively what you're doing is you're becoming a salesperson. It's almost like you're a sales rep for the apps that you're recommending that you're collecting affiliate commissions on, right? So do the job. Make sure that you're prepared to properly explain the benefits to the people that you're going to recommend, because the better job you do of that, the more people you give your link to are going to sign up, and frankly, the more money you're going to make in this model as you list out your different affiliate programs and how many people you're referring every single month. All right, Terry says, can you post this page in the chat? I thought I did. Maybe I'm not following the question correctly. So, Terry, maybe you can clarify exactly where you're, or try clicking. Okay, you got it. Great. Yeah, initially when I shared it, you had access to the page, but the database was missing. I had to go change something so that the database would appear there. That's all. And I would make a copy of it because there's a good chance that sometime after today's webinar, I'm going to remove this. Because again, there's different ways I would rather share something like this than like this. Just because of the potential exposure, because this is linked to very sensitive stuff that I do also keep track of in here. So sometimes I get nervous about these things because I find out later that, like I've had people message me sometimes saying, "Hey, did you mean for people to be able to see this?" And they'll send me a screenshot and I'm like, "Oh crap." So anyway, I did test it. So I think we're good, but just in case. All right, so I believe I've covered everything I planned to, right? We talked about my affiliate program. I showed you how to get started researching the app, right? I did, while we were talking, click a little further into the Gusto one that Jesse brought up as an example. So here they're gathering information from you. What I'm looking for is this. I want to know how much do I get paid? And it says earn 400 for every client you introduce to Gusto payroll. So that tells me that it doesn't matter whether or not they actually sign up for Gusto, that it's just the introduction. But again, don't assume anything. I would definitely want to click here and research the terms, right? And something in here might give me a clue as to how I actually get paid. And that's an important thing to note, is how you get paid. I'll tell you this. I'll share an anecdote on this. And Mariette, feel free to turn your camera back on because it's time for questions and answers. Understand how the affiliate program pays out. I have it pretty well documented on my website, and any step of the way, I'll remind people that I pay out quarterly. So, where are we? We're in February. I just recently paid out the fourth quarter from last year, right? So we have the rest of February and then March. So sometime early in April, I'll sit down and, tally up all the affiliate commissions I owe. And then I now use Makers Hub to pay them, which is brilliant, by the way, because with Makers Hub, I basically export a report from my website that I then drop into a pivot table, and it kind of cuts it up for me and shows me who all the affiliates are, who they referred, what the selling price of the item was, and how much of that was their commission. And I basically can cut it up into a pivot table that I can then take screenshots. And I love Makers Hub. So Makers Hub is another app that I recommend that I have a partnership with. And so I will take a screenshot, and you can actually copy and paste screenshots into their bills area, and it will read that screenshot just as well as it can read a PDF. And boom. So in seconds now, it cuts up the affiliate, payment that I need to make to the person. So the process there for me is just that. So I want to just a little bit about etiquette. I had an affiliate at one time who was freaking hounding me like every week. Where's my payment? Where's my money? And at first I got it because the person was a new affiliate. And I understand I've joined affiliate programs where I'm certain I made referrals that I'd never got paid for. And so I questioned it and eventually stopped referring because I just never got any money. Right. So I get being skeptical. But after, and at one time I replied to an email I got from the person, and they said that, it was just an automated thing they did because they had had problems in the past with getting paid. And of course, I said, rest assured, I'm not going to screw you over. I promise you, I pay everybody like that. I would never do that, right? That would be a great way to ruin my credibility. very quickly. But the person just didn't let up and just kept hounding me. And it just got very annoying. So be mindful of that. When you join these affiliate programs, especially, you work with an affiliate program like Gusto, you're probably not going to get anywhere trying to reach out to them and say, hey, when am I going to get paid? But if you're working with somebody with a smaller operation like mine, just be kind of mindful and respectful, that I don't have a huge team. I have to take my own time to carve it all up and schedule all the payouts, and I'm happy to do it. I just don't like being harassed about it. So, anyway, questions. We've lost some people, I see. And if there's no questions, then we can wrap up.
Yeah, I will say this is awesome. Again, I appreciate how you shared. Can you remind me again the step one, two, and three? Um, like how the kind of the workflow you're sharing in regards to how to kind of build this up in your business. You step one, two, and three. I feel like those are good ones to just remind everyone, like that's actually how you get started.
Yep. So step one is gather your links. Step two is get them in a system you can trust. We use Notion as the obvious example. Step three is model or plan your affiliate revenue. Lay out the affiliate programs, understand how you get paid, how much you get paid, and plan it out. I want to make this many referrals per month, and then track it, right? Step four, form the habit of sharing with people. Look for the opportunities. You have to be intentional about that. Don't wait for the opportunities to fall in your lap, because then even when they do, you might not think of it, because we're all going a million miles an hour and thinking of a million things. So make it an intentional process where I would even go as far as to say, carve out time in your day where you're going to go out looking, maybe just jump into your favorite Facebook accounting groups or whatever, look for the opportunities, carve out time to intentionally look for those opportunities to share your affiliate links. And again, don't just be spammy about it. But when I say look for the opportunities, I mean look for opportunities to engage, get into a conversation, and then very naturally and organically, not forced,
Mhm.
recommend the link to the program. There's one guy years ago who I couldn't stand because every response he gave to every question on every thread, he somehow in a very roundabout way, and by way of an extreme stretch in many cases, would force his way into pitching his product that he had for you.
Mm.
And I hate when people do that. I like if somebody did that in my Facebook group now, which is a ghost town, mind you, but that's okay. My focus is elsewhere. But if somebody did that, I would immediately just remove them from the group. Like I can't
Yeah.
stand when people do that. So don't be that guy.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to share in regards to kind of strategy. So if you want to build, like you're like, okay, I want to create a revenue stream on affiliate income. Like that can be a goal. Absolutely. And I know you talked a lot about goals in January and February. So you can just, again, as he said, spend an hour and actually you can find areas but they'll give you tons of different affiliate opportunities. So there's a platform called Partner Stack. And in Partner Stack, you can open up an account in Partner Stack and you will have several affiliate programs inside of that program. So like that's just one example, but there's other affiliate like marketplaces, let's say, or programs or platforms where you can open up a free account in that platform and then you can research all of the different affiliate programs. And I've done that, interesting enough, because one of my affiliates that I love, which is Kartra, which is a learning management system called Kartra, they use Partner Stack as their affiliate program. And when I went in there to just sign myself up under Kartra, which is all I thought I was doing, all of a sudden it said, and guess what? There's all these other affiliate programs in here. And so then I spent some time and I actually found several other apps I was already using. And I went ahead and I applied for their programs. And that's the last thing I will say. It's not always you're going to get in their affiliate program. For some reason, there are a few programs out there that you have to apply for. And,
I
you
could tell
just
you
have to,
why, by the way.
huh?
The
Oh, I
reason
want
they
to know
do
why.
that,
Yeah.
some of the companies that make you apply and have a vetting process, it's because they have people scamming and doing really spammy
Ah.
things, and they want to make sure they're not just letting anybody into their program. That's why they do that. So,
Okay, well then that makes sense. So yeah,
yeah.
but I was gonna say the application process is pretty straightforward. They just ask you things like, do you use my program? How do you use it? Things like that. And then it's almost automatic that you'll get in. And so yeah, so you can actually like spend an hour, whatever time you want, allotted to finding affiliate programs. But I love what Seth said in the beginning. It's really as easy as like what apps do I use all day long or what apps did I use this week? And then just go ahead and like document them. Don't even worry if they have an affiliate program and then go and check if they have an affiliate program. And they usually are, as he mentioned, on the bottom of their homepage it'll usually say affiliate program. So it's pretty simple to find it.
Awesome. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Jesse, I responded to you, but just in case you missed it, just yeah, email me, or if we're in any Slack workspaces together, that's usually the best way to reach me. But otherwise, email me and I'll get you the info for tomorrow's Bulletproof Notion. Maybe I'll send a very quick email broadcast telling people about this. I know it's last minute, but there may be people who can still join. So what you won't have access to is the recordings. That's because that gets posted inside the course that I have for Bulletproof Notion. So this one is one you would definitely need to attend live or join the program. All right. Well, yeah. So, oh, and by the way, there was the fifth step, which probably doesn't really need to be restated, but it was resolving the conflicts of interest, right? There's really 5 steps. Just make sure that, and I don't think we really need to speak to this too much to anybody here. I think you all kind of live with integrity and
We
would
have
never
Linda
recommend
also
something.
wanting to invite to Notion. I
Okay.
will say, Seth, if you create that quick little broadcast, it will make it easier for us to reshare it. So
I'll do it
just
next.
saying.
I'll
Okay.
do it next. As soon as we're done with this webinar, I'll prepare it. I always hesitate to send out extra emails. I don't like to send more than the one a week unless I'm really promoting something, but I can do this one thing. Not a problem. And then I got to hurry and do it quickly because I've got 97 and up coming up and
Yes.
I haven't posted their information yet about what we're talking about today. Oh,
Thank you guys. Thank you, Seth, for having me.
thank you, Mariette. Thank you so much for helping out and contributing so much.